I wonder, you obviously have little Harvey, your son.
Yeah.
I wonder what your thoughts are. I mean, you obviously post about him, but I wonder for you, what was the thought process in posting him? Do you ever get worried, like, now there are, the AI things that take images and this and that, and what are your thoughts on that? Like, have you had to really think about it, or you don't worry about it too much?
It's really hard because, and I suppose this goes back to the negative side of me sharing my life.
Yes.
And being known for sharing my life, is then I feel like Harvey's a huge part of my life now.
Yeah.
Like, huge part. Outside of Kick, I spend most of my time with him.
How old is he now?
He's 2.5.
Yeah.
However, the older he's getting, that thought is coming more and more into my mind because he's becoming more aware of the phone. He's also becoming his own little person. So I have started to slow down with it a little bit just to be a little bit more conscious of that. And who knows, who knows if I end up like not sharing him at all when it gets to a certain point. I don't know yet. But currently what Josh and I feel comfortable with is not absolutely parading him to the nth degree.
Yes.
But he's still within my content. And I'm trying to find ways that I can still speak to the mums in my community and speak through my experience of parenthood without necessarily always including him.
Yeah.
And we're always really cautious of like where we are, sharing anything about our location.
Yeah.
That's always like, I'm very paranoid about that side of it. Absolutely.
So what do you do, post after or something? Yeah.
Always post after. Try not to post anything that's got like a really recognizable, if it's somewhere I go regularly, like obviously if I went to Sydney and we got a photo in front of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But like, try and not, make it out like someone could recognize where this area is and all that sort of stuff. Very careful about that side of it. Absolutely.
Has anything ever happened? Have you ever had anything that you've been worried about?
Yeah, actually. I have. I mean, and since we've got like, our house is honestly like Fort Knox. Like, we've got so much security. It's insane.
But your house was, though, online.
Yes, and it was from that point. So when our house went online, which was the most uncomfortable thing ever, like we spoke to them before it happened and basically begged them not to, and they didn't care. So that's just, some media, but that's okay. What happened from there was I got a DM from someone that mentioned something. Like, they said something else, but it mentioned something about a tennis ball in my front yard. And I looked out the window and there was a tennis ball in my front yard. And that
shivers.
freaked me out because I had no idea who this person was. So that I was really anxious for a period of time with that. And so very, very careful with our location wise, but it's just really hard when you've got a platform and you're a public figure in a way. It's like, I don't really know how to avoid it.
Yes.
I think it's just one of the shit end of the sticks that comes with it. So it's just managing it.
Because that is a big deal. Like, do you call the police or something? I mean, they can't do anything because they're, the guy's only saying you've got a ball in your, they're not. But it is obviously such a creepy kind of feeling. I wonder for you, obviously, you're in the media, you get attention, a lot is good, but then a lot can be that Daily Mail kind of stuff. Do you get upset about that, or is it something that you put to the side? Do you read articles that write things that aren't so kind about you?
I mean, I have a Google alert on, so I do read a lot of them, and that's purely just because, we always make sure that like things like Kick and everything is credited correctly and all that sort of stuff. So it's not, if it was at a point where it was really bothering me mentally, I would absolutely turn that off. But it hasn't ever got to that point. And I think with things like the Daily Mail, I have a really funny relationship with them, or what I think about them. Because, I mean, sometimes it's honestly just they talk about something that I've posted and it's literally just outlining the detail of what I'm wearing or how my hair looks. I'm like, who's reading this?
Yeah.
Like, as if this is newsworthy.
Blow wave today. Her hair is looking lovely.
So that stuff, I'm like, whatever. I did a shoot recently, a big campaign that I'm really excited about coming out, but these paparazzi turned up and it really bothered me because instantly I was distracted. I suddenly, instead of having one camera to focus on, there was two guys that were working together on either end, and they were working for the Daily Mail.
How do they know about it?
It was in Bondi, so that like any time I shoot in Bondi or Sydney, paparazzi are called. It's like they have people going around with just like looking out for things. Anyway, so they were there, and I actually ended up riding over to one of them because one of the shots I'm on a bike, and I rode over, and I was like, "Can you please stop taking a photo?" Because at this point he's like holding he's had a camera around his neck, but he was holding his phone up, and he just kind of like kept filming and like just looked aside of his phone and said, "Oh, I'm a photographer." I was like, "I really don't care. Can you please stop taking photos? Making me feel uncomfortable." And he was like, "Well, you're in a public place, so I'm allowed to take photos of you. So maybe shoot somewhere else." And he just looked at me, and I was like, "Okay,
Wow.
enjoy your day." And then I rode off, and they were there for another like hour or two.
Are they allowed to post photos of Harvey? Or do they have to blur his face out?
No, I think they are technically allowed to. Wow. Yeah, because I think they are, because I've seen plenty of articles of celebrities who deliberately don't put their children online.
Yeah.
And then the media take photos of them like getting in and out of the car.
There's a rule around that, but maybe there isn't.
I don't know. I've certainly seen it online. I don't know if Harvey's ever been. I don't think Harvey's ever been papped or anything. But yeah, so it's just like things like that, definitely uncomfortable. But it's kind of just that comes with it.